Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Oh, that was pretty good for a rainy night. That was pretty good. So welcome to Temple Emanu-El members, to family that's in town visiting, to anybody who's here for the first time. Welcome to you. Welcome to all of those joining us online. We're so glad you are praying with us tonight. If anybody needs a break at some point, we do have a Shalom Sanctuary. The light is off, but it can be turned on, and that can be a space if you just need a break from the bigger room. Under your seats, you'll find our prayer book for tonight, Mishkan Tefillah. If you pull the one that says the Torah, it's the wrong one. You want the one that looks like this. They're both blue, which doesn't make it easy. If you need to step out of our sanctuary space for any reason tonight, you can do so from the doors you came in. We also have exits over there. There's an exit behind you and exits behind us up here as well. Take a second if you haven't had a chance yet. Please turn your smartwatches, any beeps off. Take your cell phones, make sure those are off, alarms off, etc., so that we can just all be super present in this space. If we haven't met before, I'm Rabbi Rachel, up here with cantorial soloist Jessica Tillum. Please, we invite you to take a second, but first, what's missing from here? We want to say a big mazel tov to Barak Schoenberg, who's becoming bar mitzvah tomorrow morning, and so an early mazel tov to you. We'll hear more from him tonight. But please, take a second. Somebody that you did not drive here or fly here with, turn to them, introduce yourself, a little Shabbat Shalom, and we'll come back together.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
So we'll take a second to leave behind the week that was and enter Shabbat together, and we'll do so with some centering breaths. So if you want to close your eyes, I invite you to do so now. Perhaps put your back against the chair or your feet on the floor. All of the busyness of the week, all of those moving parts, the rain, the weather, the chaos, it stops now so that we can be together for this holy time. So we'll take a deep breath in, let it out. Another deep breath together, let it out. Third breath to help us enter Shabbat. Deep breath in, and we let it out. And we'll flutter our eyes open. We'll be on page 120. If Carrie, Ian, Brock, and Joelle, Maxine and Richard, Simon, and Felice Schoenberg, if you guys can all come on up to our Shabbat candles. Perfect. So if you want to take and light each candle, you can each do one. Go ahead, Brock. All right, and we welcome in some love, light, and warmth, and we join with Jessica.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Thank you. If you'd like to light your own Shabbat candles, you can do so to the tables to my left and to my right. as we welcome in some Sabbath angels. Shalom Aleichem, page 142.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzidchem Shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai.
On page 138, we have our prayer of Lechadodi. There's this midrash that says that Shabbat, when personified, when given, I guess, the ability to speak in some way, Shabbat complained that she didn't have a partner. You see, Sunday has Monday, Tuesday has Wednesday, Thursday has Friday, and Saturday is left alone. And so it becomes that we are Shabbat's partner, that we are one bride or groom, and Shabbat is the bride or groom. And together, we have this chance to unite and to create something holy, like that of a bride and a groom, or we're very progressive today, so a bride and a bride, or a groom and a groom. And so we join together, welcoming that Sabbath bride to be with us for Shabbat, page 138.
Lechadodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 pnei Shabbat, nekabelai, lechadodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 pnei Shabbat, nekabelai, shamoy v'zachor, v'dibor echad, hishmianu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, u'shmo echad, v'shemo tiferet v'litzahila, lechadodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 pnei Shabbat, nekabelai, lechadodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 pnei Shabbat, nekabelai, likrat Shabbat, v'chu v'nilcha, ki mekor ha'beracha, merosh l'kidem, nesucha, sof ma'aseh, b'machshavat tchila, lechadodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 pnei Shabbat, nekabelai, lechadodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 pnei Shabbat, nekabelai.
We rise and face the door.
Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam b'simcha uv'sochola, toch emunei, al segula, boi chala, boi chala.
We face forward.
Lechadodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Shabbat, yalalai, 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 Pnei Shabbat, Nekabela.
Page 147, we join together. There is one who sings the song of his own life, finding everything within himself. There is one who leaves the circle of herself and sings the song of her people. There is one whose voice rings with the song of humanity, hoping for the highest perfection. And there is one who rises even higher, uniting with all creatures, with all worlds, filling the universe with song. Nivarech, let us bless. Baruch Hu, page 146.
Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
We turn to the back inside cover of your prayer book, where you will find our Roll into Dark words of our Ma'ariv Aravim prayer as co-creators with God each day. We thank God for bringing on the darkness so that we can also have light.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
We feel our feet on the floor, standing proud and tall. We declare God's oneness, page 152, Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. Unless you're becoming bar mitzvah tomorrow, then come on up to help lead us in this Ve'ahavta, because, Brock, this is the last Friday night that you will lead us as a child of the congregation. Cool. That tomorrow, as you become a man in the congregation, you become responsible for some of the things that are in here, like teach them to your children, No, you're not having kids anytime soon. But is there another child in your house?
No.
Your sister?
Other children.
Right. Are there other children in this congregation? And then on Sundays, right? This place is pretty full. Uh-huh.
Oh, him.
Yep. Uh-huh. So you become responsible for helping to teach them, to be a good person, to be a model, to share Judaism. That's going to be your role. Not tonight, tomorrow. But tonight you can still lead us. Sound good?
Yep.
All right, Ve'ahavta, page 154. We join with Brock.
Is clicking on it.
Is it on all the way right here?
Hello.
Yep, go for it.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצדך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך ובביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ובשכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Amen. Beautiful. Thank you, sir. You can be seated till I call you back up later. All right, friends, as we prepare for our prayer of redemption, Michamocha, we pray responsively first at the bottom of page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. Together, the high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered at Sinai. We bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again, we overcame oppressive forces. And though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice, as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Our prayer of Micha Mocha, page 158.
I'm surprising you, but it's International Women's Day, so if you're here often, I'm going to add a little English verse, so don't be surprised.
מלכותך
page 160, we have our prayer, Hashkivenu, which asks God to especially spread over us a shelter of peace, a Sukkot Shalom, and not only over us, but over all our people, Israel, and over Jerusalem. And so we know that this prayer holds extra weight as we enter another day where there are still hostages. We'll say that prayer for the redemption of hostages a little later in our service. But tonight, a prayer that we can connect to in the hardest of times, and even just on a cold, rainy night, that this is a prayer that, when we really feel it, is one that is supposed to bring us closer to God, to bring God perhaps a little closer to us, so that we can feel that Sukkot Shalom, that shelter of peace. Page 160.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim.
And on page 162, really at the very, very bottom of 163, we have these words from Ahad Ha'am, that more than the Jewish people has kept Shabbat, Shabbat has kept the Jewish people. It is the thing that has made us who we are. It's something that has grounded us and reminded us to rest so that we can do all the other work that we need to do to heal our world. So we join together, Vishamru, thanking God for giving us Shabbat, recognizing it's our job to recognize Shabbat 162.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לתורתם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לתורתם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לתורתם ברית עולם.
I'm not feeling my sermon yet. I'm going to put it in a different spot.
Okay.
I'm going to put it in a different spot. So instead, we're going to keep moving forward in our service. Page 164. You threw me one, so I'm going to throw you one back. Page
only fair.
164, we rise for our Amidah.
Adonai, sifatai tiftachu fi agita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot Mimahot, Umevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol atah Rav L'Hoshia, Mashif HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayeh HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Solim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Micha Mocha Baal Gevurot, Umido Melech, Melech Meimit, Umechaye, Umasmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom ya'alu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
We continue in silent prayer with the words of our liturgy or the prayers of your heart. When you've completed your prayers, please be seated. It's my pleasure to call forward co-president Dana Niger to share with us some announcements.
Thank you, Rabbi Rachel. Wonderful as always, and musical stylings of Jessica Tillum tonight, really kicking things off right. Hi, my name is Dana Niger. I'm co-president here at Temple Emanu-El to the amazing Bill Keller, and I've got a few announcements. So I would just want to welcome our guests, TE congregants in person and online. And while you're here this evening, if we haven't met, please introduce yourself. Also want to thank our ushers tonight, Aaron Goldberg and Bob Anton. Thank you. The Oneg tonight is sponsored by the Schoenberg family in honor of Brock's bar mitzvah. Congratulations, Mazel Tov. Please check the weekly TE events and programming emails on Mondays for more details on upcoming programs. I've got a few to note tonight, and we just stay tuned because we've got a really big month of Adar. So March 17th is the Sisterhood/Tribe Hamantash and Bake, followed by the Atlanta Community Symphony Orchestra concert, sponsored by Mickey and Noah Rosner. Thank you so much. And with a reception following, sponsored by Ann and Marvin Goldstein. Thank you so much. Hamantashen Hilarity with Dad's Garage on March 23rd, our Purim Carnival with a Cause on March 24th, and mark your calendars and get your tickets for our third annual Spring Forward on April 13th. Thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom.
Thanks, Dana. Shabbat Shalom. So now is also the time in our service where we pause to share with the community some of the good things that are going on in our lives. So the way we do that is you go like this. I bring you the microphone. You share your name, and you share the good thing that's happening. Say your name first.
My name is Joelle, and I'm excited for Brock's bar mitzvah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Very excited for her brother's bar mitzvah. Perfect. Anybody else celebrating something or something good happened in your week? Okay, I was going to say, surely.
I'm Jocelyn, and maybe I've already said this, but so 2 weeks or 1 week ago was the social studies fair, and me and my partner, for our topic, our category was sociology, and we got like a big ribbon for best in the topic, and we're going to regionals, and it's next week.
All right, well, good luck at regionals. Awesome job. Nora?
My name is Nora Florsheim, and our 4th out of 5th grandchild is going to University of Florida.
All right. And Nora, do you have a count for us yet on number of hamantashen made in the congregation? Estimate.
Made already?
Yeah.
Well, I have like over 100 at my house.
And we're going to make 2,000 hamantashen coming this way. 2,000. Anybody else want to share something good going on? Oh, Norm, you're making me get my steps in today. Thank you. Yes, sir.
So I'm Norman Zoller. So today I was a part of a group that helped more than 800 veterans apply for VA benefits in Lawrenceville, Georgia.
Wow.
It was quite remarkable. We had the VA there. Must have been 50 representatives of the VA with computers, so they could do the data entry to help them get VA benefits.
Wonderful. 800 people. Over 800 people to get VA benefits. That's what a mitzvah. Thank you so much. So friends, for Jess, anything this week?
The Canadian geese are in town. My son's very excited about it. They're on the lake.
On that note, we thank God for reaching that moment in our time. We turn to page 648 for Shehechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
And friends, just as we leave opportunity to share the really good that's happening, we also know that we are complex humans who hold lots of emotions at the same time, and that for every joyous moment we have, we also hold in our hearts the hostages who are being held in Gaza. And so many of you are sharing, but you received a handout that has our prayer for the captives. And when I say our prayer, I mean the Jewish people's prayer. This isn't the prayer of Temple Emanu-El. This is a prayer that has existed since we've had a Siddur, since we've had a prayer book. This has been in there. In 2007, when they created this prayer book, perhaps they didn't imagine a time when we would need it again, but here we are. And so we use the words on this page to pray for our brothers and sisters in captivity.
Achenu kol Beit Yisrael, Achenu kol Beit Yisrael, Hanatuni b'tzara, b'tzara uvashivya, ha'omdim bein bayam uvein bayabasha. Achenu kol Beit Yisrael, Achenu kol Beit Yisrael, Hanatuni b'tzara, b'tzara uvashivya, ha'omdim bein bayam uvein bayabasha. Hamakom yirachem, yirachem aleihem, v'yotziei mitzara, lirvacha, mefala leora, mishibud ligela, hashtabagala, uvizman karim. Hamakom yirachem, yirachem aleihem, v'yotziei mitzara, lirvacha, umefala leora, umishibud ligela, hashtabagala, uvizman karim.
Together, our brothers and sisters, the whole house of Israel, who are in distress and captivity, who wander over the sea and land, may God have mercy on them and bring them from distress to comfort, from darkness to light, from slavery to redemption, now, swiftly, and soon. And friends, we also have those in our community who are in need. They are in need of a healing of body, of mind, of relationship. And we are especially thinking this Shabbat of Rob Gilbert, Charlie Cohn, Kaska Mishkogi, Aaron Silverman, Jeffrey Syme, Evan Alberhaski, Tzvi Ben Natan, Craig Spector, Ken Schiffer, Karnina Michal Bat Yitzhak Vitova, Jennifer Herman, Mark Lodinger, Yehudit Bat Yocheved, Aharon Ben Batya, Jeffrey Crispo, Barbara Chalif, Ethan Berkowitz, and Laura Pino Green. If there's somebody that you're praying for this Shabbat, I invite you to share that name aloud as my eyes meet yours. Thank you. 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 Friends, at this time, we turn to page 371. We rise, and if your neighbor is comfortable, we wrap an arm around, joining together for these words of Misha Berach.
Misheberach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Neimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu, mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We'll remain standing, turning to page 123. So Brock, if you will come on up, but grab the large Kiddush cup first on your way. Right here. Okay, and then anybody under the age of bar or bat mitzvah, come get one of the little Kiddush cups and come on up. Come on, Alana, I see you. Brock, all the way up here. Oh, good. All right, and kids, come all the way up. Come stand with Brock. No, for him. All right, ready? Page 123.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinkilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu v'charta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon, hinhaltanu.
Hold it up.
Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat.
Yeah, have a sip. Beautiful. And friends, we'll remain standing. If you guys will just leave your Kiddush cups over here on the edge right here. We'll turn to page 586 for Aleinu L'Shabach. Brock and everybody will come up and open our ark for us. I'm with you, Alana. Go ahead, guys.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, lateit geula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, ushemo echad.
Well done. All right, please be seated. The most meaningful thing that I do as a rabbi, or one of the most meaningful, is to usher families through the mourning process. Sometimes I'm with a family at the end of their loved one's life. I create space and give permission for the family to tell their loved one that it's okay to let go. Other times, the loss is more sudden, and I'm there to answer the call of, what do I do now? Family dynamics, they may be messy and at other times straightforward. The grief of family members may be complicated or expected, or maybe a mix of the two. But the most beautiful part of the process is when the family sits down for what we call the intake. And this is the time when they talk with the rabbi about their loved one. Families will share how he was as a child, who she became in her young adult years, the relationships they had with the kids or grandkids or siblings. These stories are then woven into a chesped, a eulogy, delivered at the funeral. Sometimes only the rabbi speaks. And other times, family or friends also share words. And this past week, we brought Herb Mindel to his eternal resting place. And my words at the funeral were followed by beautifully crafted remarks from his grandson, Darren. Darren grew up here at Temple Emanu-El, and he's now a 21-year-old young man who flew in from UCLA to be with his family. And in our brief time together to learn about the family's relationship with Herb, Darren and his Poppy, as he called him, reminded me of two characters from this week's Torah portion, our Torah portion being Vayakel. And those characters were Bitzalel and Oholiab. It's too bad that Oholiab's a hard name to say, otherwise probably be more kids named after him. But these guys were artists, known in the Torah for their leadership in executing the building of the tabernacle, the sanctuary in which God would dwell. Bitzalel was endowed with a divine spirit of skill, ability, and knowledge in every kind of craft, inspiring him to make designs for work in gold, silver, copper, and so on, to work in every kind of designer's craft. And Oholiab, he was endowed with the skill to be a carver, a designer, an embroiderer. And our rabbis, they say that it was Bitzalel. Some rabbis say it was Oholiab. And some say that it was both of them together, that they taught the Israelites the skills needed to complete the tasks for constructing a beautiful palace-like structure for God, the sanctuary. And they were not only artists, they were teachers, tasked with instructing those Israelites about how to use their gifts to help them build the masterpiece. Now, Herb and his grandson Darren, not so different from Bitzalel and Oholiab. In his final years, Herb became frustrated due to his sharp mind but failing body. Darren, on the other hand, had the body to be able to do anything his mind can imagine, but a mind that was sometimes paralyzed by the need to make decisions. And one day, his Poppy brilliantly instructed him. He said, "Use those legs that work so well and carry yourself away from the speed of your mind." Two men sharing their vulnerabilities, Herb went on to confide, "Darren, sometimes I feel trapped in the prison of my mind." And then the Mind Palace was born, as Darren shared the following. He said, "In a sort of facetious way, I commanded Poppy not to think of his mind as a prison, but instead as a beautiful castle he needed to work hard to clean and maintain so that I could come to visit him there and we could explore together. I wanted him to take me down the halls of his past through the ballrooms of his own college glory days, through the gardens of unforgettable vacations and the banquets of his greatest successes. And so it was that day that Poppy and I, Darren said, started workshopping the idea of a mind palace. Rather than to view his body as a crippling cage, we would celebrate the power of his mind. I believe that Herb and Darren, like the artists Bezalel and Oholiab, have become our teachers for this Torah portion. Like the Israelites of ancient days, we can learn from their skills to create and build something beautiful. May we all be able to build a mind palace for ourselves or along with a loved one. To build a place in which we can release our anxieties, our I can't statements, or our what if worries. A place for our mind to dream if our body has slowed down. If we each had the power to craft such a holy place in our minds, I believe that our mind palaces could become the sanctuary that we need to uncover the godliness within ourselves. And now, this isn't the language that Herb and Darren used, but I believe that a spark of God lives in the artistry of their mind palace. Because when we provide a sacred space for the idea of God to dwell in our mind, I believe we endow ourselves with the ability, with the potential to tap into a faith-filled confidence. Faith in ourselves to choose the proper direction of our lives. Like Bezalel and Oholiab, we can take ownership of building a sacred space for God to dwell. Like Herb and Darren, we can build that space in our mind, that mind palace, to be a holy place for God's comforting presence to dwell, so that we can achieve all that we dream of doing in this world. Can you hear Ratzon? May it be God's will. Shabbat Shalom. And so, friends, you can probably see why I decided to move my sermon here to the end, because we end our service, every service, in memory, remembering those who have died in recent days or in seasons past. And perhaps you want to imagine those loved ones who are near and dear to you who have died in those recent days or in those seasons past. Let them enter your mind palace, a place for you to talk. In this Shabbat, we are in a period of Shiv'ah for Herb Mendel. We are in a period of Shloshim for Elizabeth Carroll and Jeffrey Allen Wolkowski. We're observing yahrzeits for Sylvia W. Becker, Morris Maury Brill, Edward Cohn, Alex Cypress, Louis Deutsch, Melvin Druckmann, Isabel Ard Feintuck, Joan Eagle First, Rose Goldberg, Hyman Goldstein, Sophie Sutker Gottlieb, Gussie Kaufman, Pauline Kurtz-King, Cressy Klein, George Lewin, Lou Lipson, Michael Lustig, Grover Mundell, Kevin Murphy, William B. Penn, Lillian Pomeransk, Gilbert Sheff, Jack Silvers, William Tauber, Nicholas Tabano, Nancy Unker, Olga Wachtenheim, and Dorothy Wilcox. If you are in the first 7 days, a period of Shiv'ah, mourning the loss of a loved one, I invite you to rise, especially at home. If you're in a period of Shloshim, I invite you to rise so we may recognize you. If you're in the first year, Yud Bet, mourning the loss of a loved one, we invite you to rise so we can recognize you. If on this Shabbat you are commemorating a yahrzeit, a death anniversary of a loved one, we invite you to rise so we may recognize you. And if it is your custom to rise for Mourner's Kaddish, as it is here at Temple Emanu-El, I invite you to do so at this time. The words of Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirute v'amlich malchute, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam ulamei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'halal, Shemei de Kudesha Barichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, Damiran be'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen.
Oh, say shalom bimromav, huya say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
And last but not least, we do a little wala to our challah. We join together in motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, everyone.